They come in all shapes and sizes, great ones large and small, to small ones tiny, almost nothing at all. A wondrous variety of animals inhabit our world. It is their world, too, we sometimes forget. Therein is the danger if we get too near, and equal trouble if we leave them alone. To the Cherokee, they were the animal people. The ancients believed once that animals were bigger and stronger and smarter than the animals are today, and could talk. Well, nowadays our animals can't talk, so we'll help them along. I'm Bill Landry with Creatures Great and Small on Heartland Tonight. It is the animals, variety, kind, type, and class that we celebrate tonight. In the water, in the air, and rumbling across the ground, the animal kingdom, for it is a world that is wondrous indeed. On Heartland Tonight, we'll journey the bayous of Reelfoot Lake with Raz the Turtle Man, meet beavers big as bears, search the Great Smoky Mountains National Park for an eating machine, and find that the tiniest critters often pack the biggest punch. Blessed with an abundance of water, our region's rivers have withstood many threats. Most recently, it's a tiny creature, an exotic invader not from here, that's been gumming up the works and causing quite a stir. These waterways are our region's lifeblood. In them are the building blocks of life, invisible nutrients that hold up the food chain. But now the very basics of that food chain are threatened. Ironically, the danger is a natural one, not chemical. It is not man-made, although man helped it along. It is a living creature that so far has destroyed or damaged everything it touches. And now the invaders creep ever closer to our Tennessee Valley, where scientists believe conditions for them are ideal. Near Nashville, Cheatham Lock on the Cumberland River is being drained for maintenance and inspection. The creatures were found here in June. It is no surprise to find others today.
There's one right here, right in this hand hole.
The monster in miniature is the tiny zebra mussel. The zebra mussel rode into North America from Eastern Europe in the ballast water of ships. They were discovered in the Great Lakes in 1988 and have quickly spread into the Mississippi, Lower Ohio, Cumberland, and Tennessee rivers. Its presence here worries TVA aquatic biologist Steve Allstead.
All they are is a filtering reproductive machine. It settles out in mass numbers, in the thousands or maybe even in the millions. They make a permanent attachment on any firm surface that's in the water, including the underside of your boat, in water intake pipes.
Its numbers are small here for now, but this pipe from the Great Lakes region shows what can happen.
As you can see, this is approximately 3 months worth of growth that's attached to this pipe.
A female can produce up to 1 million eggs a year. Free-floating larvae can flow right through screens and travel great distances. Once zebras get a foothold, the ecological dangers run deeper still. At the bottom of the food chain, the smallest life forms feed tiny fish and small insects, which in turn provide food for larger fish and wildlife. Zebra mussels upset the food chain because they can completely filter more than 2 gallons of water a day.
It'll make the water look a lot clearer, but essentially what it's doing is removing all the food out of the water. It constantly filters water, it's constantly eating, and it constantly reproduces.
Fish populations may dwindle as a result. A colonized northern mussel foreshadows the fate of our already threatened freshwater mussel.
Zebra mussels effectively killed this native mussel because it probably couldn't get any oxygen and it probably couldn't get any food. And as you can see, the way it's bound up, it probably couldn't open or close.
In industry alone, the effects will be devastating.
In terms of the commercial mussel fishery that we have in the Tennessee Valley, it's about a $70 million a year export business to Japan.
Sadly, it seems our region provides an excellent habitat.
We have more nutrients in the water. We already have a tremendous native mussel resource that's in the Tennessee Valley.
No one really knows if the zebra mussel will devastate our rivers and lakes. For now, biologists watch and wait. Only time will tell. Zebra mussels need a large population upstream in order to spread downriver. Except in Watts Bar Lake, our populations are spreading a lot slower than was first anticipated. Steve Alstead reports that the calcium levels are lower in the Tennessee River than in the Ohio, where the invaders are flourishing. This might be the reason. But they're here and they need watching. It's turtles, wild boar, and beavers big as bears, and they need watching too when we come back. This is Reelfoot Lake. If where we are is who we are, then home here must be intricately tied to this lake. And so it is with Raz. Turtle's pretty mean.
Yeah, I think that snapper, he'll bite pretty hard. I'll always deal in turtles, though, ever since I was big enough to work, you know, and I like to catch them, and there's a little money in it, you know.
Bennett Johnson has been close to Reelfoot Lake his whole life. He works it, the way a farmer harvests crops, a miner digs coal. Water, not land, defines this man.
It's a good life if you make a living here, I think.
The turtles, they just stay all around the sides, or?
That moss is life, that's a living for the turtles, and so it is fish, a lot of fish in that moss, and the turtles just pack their lives off of it.
Oh, you got a big one here. He's trying to get out.
Yeah, he'll get out if you give him a chance.
In Raz's backyard flows the idle Bayou de Chêne. The bayou feeds West Tennessee's earthquake-born Reelfoot Lake. For all of his 70-some years, it's fed Raz too. Today he's after turtles, big snappers. I'm gonna let you get him out of here.
Yeah, I'll get him out. Ain't no problem.
I'm just trying to get out of the boat. How much does he weigh?
10 pounds.
Snapper?
10-pound snapper. I'm used to having them.
Until he retired, Raz rotated farm crops with commercial fishing seasons. Now he mostly turtles.
This is what they call a sand turtle, painted turtle, some of them called it. This is a golden stripe with a red neck. He's got a red stripe around his neck.
Do they still sell them? Is it legal?
Yeah, it's legal this year. I don't know how to be next.
He catches turtles in nets he makes himself. Gets in either way. How does this work?
Well, the turtle, he goes right in here. When he gets in there, he's caught. You take this little bag here, and you put some fish in it. It's got to be where some of it's out of the water, so he'll get air, and he won't drown. You want me to knit some?
Sure.
Yeah, well, I get the needle. I like most of my work. I do less smart of it.
Life seems unhurried here. Perhaps it comes from knowing the lake will provide.
We'll maybe put a few in the freezer, but we don't put them in the freezer because we like them fresh right out of the water, you know. You can't miss when you get, that's like having vegetables out of the garden.
And when the nets are set, the harvest clean, still the lake provides. Carvings inspired by the rich life of Reelfoot. He stands in a boat as he walks on land, sure, stable. Clearly, Raz Johnson is as much a part of Reelfoot Lake as any creature in it. From little creatures, we go to big old ones. They are called megafauna, the animals that lived here before man.
Once, this land was inhabited by huge, ferocious animals. Giant sloths that walked upright like men. Mastodons and mammoths roamed the hills and valleys. These mountains were home to elk and caribou and beavers big as bears, jaguars and saber-toothed tigers. They were the animal people in the legends of the Cherokee. The Sioux called them thunder beasts.
They are called megafauna, large animals. They weren't the first animals in the Smokies, but they were the biggest.
This is the skull of a modern beaver as we know it today. Now, this is a cast of this upper left incisor of an extinct giant beaver that inhabited East Tennessee. They were a tremendous rodent, maybe 200 or 300 pounds.
If I were walking in this primordial forest about 12,000 years ago, I'd be one of the smaller creatures here. This beast is a giant sloth. He was as big as a rhinoceros. Fortunately for me, he was a vegetarian. Caves like this is where you might have encountered the most feared predator of all. A creature of great strength and cunning. So strong it could take down animals 2 or 3 times its size. With powerful front legs and dagger-like claws that attacked young mastodons and giant sloths and drug the carcass of its kill here.
This is the lower mandible of a mountain lion or cougar. Here is a portion of a lower jaw of a jaguar that came from a cave along the Tennessee River near Chattanooga. It was big, almost the size of the African lion. It was a huge cat. Very possibly it was one of the predators that fed on some of our other now extinct Pleistocene mammals. There were at least a couple of these, couple different kinds of these extinct cats.
There are many theories about why these Ice Age animals died out. Drastic climatic change certainly affected them, but some species may have migrated south to survival. Others, like camels, horses, mammoths, and mastodons, didn't leave. They stayed, and their disappearance coincided with the arrival of a new animal about 12,000 years ago. Man arrived about 12,000 years ago, and immediately the animal world was changed forever. The balance of nature was altered. In the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, the most prolific large mammal in North America is upsetting the balance of nature today, as it has for quite a while. It's called the rabbit of large animals because it breeds so fast. Pound for pound, it's the most vicious animal in our region. We'll meet it, so be careful when you come back. Around World War II, an alien species invaded the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Fierce and dangerous. Today it's a creature that continues to threaten to upset the very balance of nature in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
What you are looking at is a survival machine, the Russian wild boar. Speed in the back end, power in the front. It climbs rugged mountain terrain and escapes with ease through dense brush like a small tank. All it lacks is a natural predator. In 1912, the Russian wild boar was brought into these mountains as part of a private menagerie for the guns of the wealthy elite. This mountain preserve failed because the land was too rugged, too demanding for social hunters. In time, all the animals disappeared except one, the Russian wild boar. In the late 40s, it appeared in the western end of the park and spread at an alarming rate. Alarming because it also was an eating machine, destroying endangered species of both plant and animal life and contaminating pure mountain streams.
You think we won't find one here, will we?
Probably not this time of the day. They're mainly nocturnal animals, and they'll more than likely travel at night and late evening. We got some tracks in this area here where they frequent through here quite often, and also a wallow here where they'll lay down, try to rid themselves of parasites and also to help cool themselves off. Last year we removed 520 animals, about 460-something of which that were trapped. I think of those, about 400 of those were turned over to state agencies for relocation.
To get a close-up look at the boar, wildlife handlers at the National Park Service tranquilized one of the trapped boars for our camera.
Just leave him alone, leave him alone.
This is really a very old boar. You can see the ears are ragged or ripped, torn, worn off, where he's probably been in battle with either other boars or even possible dogs. And whenever they're in battle, they'll sling their head sideways back and forth, and they cut by the back of the teeth. You can feel the back portion of the tusk is the sharp. That's the sharp portion. So when they're bite, you hear the stories of people getting cut by them. They're cut by the back of the tusk, and they are sharpened by the rubbing together.
Trapping alone cannot eliminate the wild boar. Hunting them down is an obvious alternative and an environmental and political football. Conservationists, wildlife specialists, and hunters all have an opinion. But the fact is, the boar is destroying life in the Smokies. It was a man-made problem from the very beginning. The whims of yesterday's sporting rich have turned into today's nightmare. This land looks like it's been turned by a garden tractor. Actually, it was caused by a Russian wild boar. With virtually no predators, it's up to man to learn to control this beast. Because hogs are so prolific, half the population each year must be removed for the park to hold its own. For instance, last year, 224 hogs were killed or removed, 339 in '97, 382 in '95. Even so, today, probably 400 wild boar remain in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It's a constant battle. What happens when man is the invader? That's what's next when Heartland Tonight returns. Ow! If you've ever been hit, you know it feels like a hot wax wire. You know what I'm talking about, stingers.
It was scary because they were hundreds of them. They were big, striped, and they'd go at you like a dive bomber.
Stingers, insects that bite and sting. Around here they are chiggers, yellow jackets, and ball-faced hornets mostly. Technically, these flying insects, along with mud daubers, are in the wasp family. They provoke a nearly irrational fear in most of us, particularly their business end, which emits a tiny but powerful irritant. We have all felt their wrath.
You have just been stuck with a hot needle. Chiggers, you know, usually are on vegetation, some of these briar bushes here.
I'm going to cover up a little bit.
You cover up.
Entomologist Harry Williams of UT with some special equipment is our guide today. Right now we're in a patch of chiggers.
But mites move with a slow, steady movement. There you go, right there.
That's a chigger?
They're all over that boy. I see them moving now. They're moving all around.
Well, it's amazing that something that small could cause so much trouble.
Oh, well, when they're on your skin, and it's a salivary secretion, which they would deposit in your skin, and that would be very painful.
Chiggers bite, so a soapy bath after an outing should do the trick. Contrary to belief, they don't embed themselves into your skin. But we're about to find something that does.
This will be good right here on this tall grass.
Ow! Don't antagonize stingers. They'll only sting in defense of their colony unless you slap at them.
Yeah, just keep your eye, be alert, because your best defense is a quick evacuation. If one should come flying in from behind and inadvertently hit you in the back of the head or the back, they may just also sting you. Stay out of that flight path. Now see, they're very, very tolerant of us standing this close. Before the instant that you would try to intrude into that nest, you would meet full-scale defensive measures to take it off. The capabilities of them locating where you are is very good.
Ow! Ah! Are they ill-tempered naturally?
Yes, but the ill temper varies with a number of bees and things. It's a genetic factor, but it's a defensive mechanism. When the yellow-jacket wasp or bee stings you, they mark you. This would be an ideal place for yellow-jackets' nests under all those rocks.
Though they hammer us once in a while, these insects patrol our gardens, eating flies, caterpillars, beetles, and other pests while raising their brood and our blood pressures. In controlled conditions, we can see the detached gland and stinger of the honeybee continue to pump venom after the sting. Now for a volunteer.
So you can see the gland is sitting there pumping, and that bee is harmless.
Oh! He's killed me.
That bee is totally harmless.
He's not harmless. Ah! Oh!
You want to go ahead and get that out of there?
How many of us today bring animals into our world? Our dogs, our cats, fish, bird feeders to watch the birds. What intrigues us really is their world. That's what fascinates us. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful. The Lord God made them all. That's how the poem goes. See you next week.